Are you the type of Deadlock player who really does want to keep up with all the crazy balance changes and updates to the game, but doesn't have time to read a full book every 2 weeks when the patch comes out? Well, you're in the right place. What's going on, everybody? Revolver here, and this is my December 6th patch notes breakdown. Feel free to toss this on and aim train, do your laundry, clean your desk, clean your room, or whatever else you're going to do, while I break down all the changes and how I think they're going to affect the meta, gameplay, and your overall Deadlock experience. Before we get into it, if you could do me a huge favor and subscribe, it really does make a world of difference and will help me get to my goal of 300 subscribers by the end of the year. All right, let's get into it. We got ourselves a patch. So let's get started, all right? We're going to try to get through it as fast as we can. Try to get through it efficiently. And I'm going to try not to miss anything, because I tend to do that, apparently. Added a new hero, Raven, to Hero Labs. We'll have to take a look at that. Added park theming to Purple Lane, park backdrop to the purple side of the map, and updated tree models. And assuming that means that I'm able to stand on the tree, we're going to test that. Okay, for each player on the main leaderboard, you can see their top 3 heroes, as well as their overall skill rating. Move the post-game survey to the final score screen. I like that. That's much better because it doesn't get in the way of me typing and whatnot. Added text box field to the post-game survey. Awesome. Allows me to give feedback. Muting a player also now silences their map drawing, pings, and chat wheel messages. Awesome. So now I don't need to deal with going in every fucking 4 seconds from an Abrams. Performance improvements. Some new setting options. Force English hero names and force English item names. Doesn't really affect me. Added toggle crouch. It's good to know. I don't think I'm going to end up really using it. Unless like there's some sort of tech that someone discovers using it. Added a new setting option. Additional build search language. Cool. Fixed shop search not working in the shop when opened from resources, revisions to melee parry effects, and removal of the parry fail effect to make parries more clear. Okay. Tweaked fall off range and toned down bass frequencies of hotel music. Okay. Yay. Added pocket barrage cast delay sound. That doesn't really bother me. Updated couple cast sounds. Passive cooldown indicator now shows when the item is off cooldown instead of 1 second before. Okay, I like that. That's that little thing in the bottom of your screen. Fixed invulnerable to debuff sound effect, playing at the wrong times. Fixed melee audio playing despite no damage dealt. Fixed rejuve collect sound. Updated parry cast and parry success sounds. Mirage now has custom animations for most of his core movements. Fixed being able to wall jump off the same surface multiple times. Damn, that sucks. I was hoping you'd be able to continue to do that. Fix shop showing. Fix the damage UI report clipping into the shop in sandbox mode. Okay. Fixed shop showing a broken build tab. Showing with a broken build tab if you previously navigated to the hero builds that opened it for. Okay. Fixed clicking on a minimap not taking you to that location is okay. Fixed fade rooftop antenna ambient effects so they are not visible at a distance. That should help with rendering in the workload. Visual revisions to quantum entanglement effect. Reverted recent updates to Shiv run animations. Okay. Increased volume and adjusted the mix of sounds for firing while disarmed and using abilities while silenced. Okay. Lash's flog impact sound adjusted for better feedback for the attacking player. Fixed a bug preventing purchase sound from playing when buying quick buying active or imbued items. Thank you. This was so annoying. I was constantly being like, wait, shit, did I actually fucking buy it? Did I buy it? Visual updates on Mirage, gun stuff, updated bullet flurry tracers to be spirit based. I don't know what the fuck that even means. I guess it's a different color or something. I don't know. Fixed Bebop's bomb damage growth not being reflected in the tooltip. Fixed Great Talon's tech power growth from his ult not being reflected in the shop. Fixed Yamato shadow transformation visuals. Fixed some item sounds. Updated Krill voiceover. Updated Ivy voiceover. Fixed a regression where Kelvin referenced Great Talon incorrectly. Interesting. Update Divine Barrier cast sound. That's good because that was kind of quiet, hard to hear You don't always know if you actually got the cast off. Added telemetry HUD options to the setting menu. It's an in-game HUD which can be used to monitor frame rate and network conditions. The telemetry HUD can be enabled under settings, game mode. Perfect. I'm gonna definitely add that. That's huge. It's really good for anybody who likes to troubleshoot what is going on when their game feels not great. Added new learn to play tutorial in collaboration with Toasty Ghosty. Miscellaneous gameplay. This is huge. Added an extra competitive option to allow players to control what type of players are placed on the team. If you prefer to play with higher levels of coordination, communication, and competitiveness, then you can use this option to tell the matchmaker to build your team with like-minded allies. This option will be somewhat inactive at times. Makes sense. Extremely long queue, but in most normal scenarios, the matchmaker will attempt to find you. So that makes sense. Like, hey, if you can get me a game with people who want to take it seriously and aren't first timing a character, and aren't going to go 1 in 12, please do. If not, I'd rather play the game than not play the game, but please do. I like that a lot. In the new extra competitive option, incoming chat and lane preference, party-only settings are now collected within queue options button on the dashboard below the profile area. That doesn't really change. It really doesn't really affect pretty much anybody who's going to be watching this video. The matchmaker will now try to prioritize having at least each team having at least 2 frontliners. That's good to see. I like that. Ability range stat now has diminishing stacking. So does duration stat. Fire rate now has a minimum final value of minus 50%. I like that. I like that there's like, because I was getting sick of having like when you play in Furnace, you get actually all the characters I play for the most part, like there's a very there's a big focus on on hitting me with fire rate slows any chance you have. If you have a fire rate slow in your kit, you're looking at Infernus because it's a huge, like it cuts my, it's such a huge nerf to my damage. Now that the maximum it can be is minus 50%, I'm down. Now, my only question is that minus 50% from my current value, or is that maximum minus 50% of my base value? All heroes now have plus 0.5 sprint, and sprint boots and enduring speed got that changed. They just want less people to sprint boots. My guess is they don't want people buying boots every game. I think they only want certain people buying boots every game. I think they want it to be an optional item, not everybody needs it type of thing. Carrying Urn now sets and limits your move speed to a fixed 13. This includes things like Ivy Airdrop. It no longer provides sprint. The speed cannot be reduced or increased. Urn spawn point now alternates left and right, starting with left rather than being random. I like that. This is really good. That's really, really good for planning around macro stuff. Shooting a trooper on a zipline now causes the other troopers near it on the zipline to dismount as well. I like that. That's definitely good. That's gonna just make gonna make proxying and backdooring more consistent. That's all. Flying over buildings no longer causes you to get zapped. Only standing on the building does. I like that. I like that a lot. That's awesome. Patron HP has been reduced. Okay, down patron HP has been reduced. Patron HP grows. Interesting. So overall, these are minus 25 HP at 20 minutes, the same HP as right now at 30 minutes, and plus 25% at 40 minutes. Interesting. They want snowbally games to end faster, 30-minute games to end same speed, and 40-minute games to take longer to end. Added a tick-based soul system that gives the bottom 2 net worth players on a team a small amount of souls per second. The amount of souls available to distribute to the bottom 2 players is based on the souls gathered by your team, 2% and 1%. This occurs after the laning phase. Okay, so post 8 minutes. Post 8 minutes, the 2 worst players on your team now get gold per minute, which I'm fine with. Most MOBAs have a gold per minute, like have an element to gold per minute, have either items or things you can spec into, or it's just passive, built in, whatever it might be, because not every character can be farming at all times. That's not healthy for the game. It's just not. Some characters need to be out and about constantly doing stuff that isn't farming and working with a low economy, but low economy, not no economy. And this helps with that. As well as your 1 in 12 McGinnis can still probably buy her items sometime next year. Added a new limiting function, Jesus Christ, the soul orb duplication abuses during the laning phase. You shouldn't experience any difference in normal gameplay. Players can only participate in 4 soul orb share events per trooper wave before being declared the lower priority. A low priority player is not counted when decided how many souls to generate. Example, if players near 4 troopers from wave 1 when they die, then moves to a different lane that has an allied hero still fighting wave 1 troopers, that player will no longer cause the waves to double souls as it generated as in the case. The souls will then be split as normal. Reverted a few changes recently related to soul duplication issues. I don't completely get this, but it's not going to affect like 99% of players. Guardians now deal. Okay, they reverted the 25% increase. Guardians, yeah. Okay. This is a big piece right here for you to really keep in mind. Like, this is probably going to be the most. This being reverted, meaning being undone, is probably one of the biggest lines in this whole patch, because that seriously affects how lanes push each other based on the amount of damage you are doing, as well as how quickly and how easy it is to lose last hits, as well as how long you can freeze, and it affects a lot of different things in the lane. Weapon items. Basic magazine, weapon damage reduced by 3%. Close quarters, weapon damage reduced by 3%. Close quarters, bullet resist reduced by 1%. Headshot booster, cooldown increased from 7 points by 1 second, okay, to 8.5 seconds. High velocity mag, weapon damage reduced by 2%. Hollow point ward threshold increased by 5%, so you just need to be a little healthier, which is fine. Weapon damage reduced by 2%. Interesting. Monster rounds. Weapon damage versus NPC reduced from 30 to 26%. You guys know me. I think this is just a noob-only purchase weapon, except for some very niche cases where for one reason or another, an ability would completely clear camp but doesn't and is very close to it. And getting that extra 26% or that extra 30, whatever it might be, helps. But other than that, I mean, I've literally never purchased this. In my almost 600 hours in the game, I've never purchased this item. Well, maybe once. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. Rapid rounds. Fire rate reduced from 11% to 10%. That's fine. That's not going to make a gigantic difference. It's going to suck a little bit for us in Furnace mains. But it's not going to make a huge difference, really. Restorative shot. Weapon damage reduced by 3%. Okay. It's actually pretty good. It's kind of a big... I don't know. It feels like kind of a big nerf. I guess they want restorative shot to feel less like a weapon item and more like a healing item. Berserker now builds into Frenzy. About time. Active reload. Ammo increased to 24%. Wow. Fleetfoot cooldown increased from 19 seconds to 20 seconds. That's fine. Melee charge. Bonus health reduced by 10. Okay. Spell Slinger headshot. Proc bonus changed from 3% spirit power to 3% spirit amp. I liked the spirit power bonus. I mean, the item, I get to the item maybe fucking once out of every 10 games. And the only time I really ever do buy the item, like, or like make a point to buy the item is generally when I'm in a situation where I need to spend my money now and I have 3K and I need damage and towards the end of the game, but otherwise I'd rather save for one of my 6200 items. I don't know. I think this item's... They're gonna be messing with this item a lot. I think this item's gonna get messed with quite a lot. I'm gonna test it a little bit more. This seems like it's not quite as good, but I'm also looking very much through the lens of Infernus, who already buys so much Spirit Amp. So I don't know. But it does actually kind of make it a like $4,200 off brand escalating exposure. I don't know. We're gonna mess around with it. Okay, Point Blank now provides melee resistance. That makes a ton of sense. I like that. That's gonna help. a lot of different people, but it also helps tank and furnace, which I'm happy about. Toxic bullet bleed damage has been increased by 0.25%. Okay, I like that. I think toxic bullets is in a pretty decent spot right now, so a little buff I'm not going to complain about. Alchemical fire spirit power reduced by 4. I think that's good. Alchemical fire is getting annoying. Everybody's buying it now. It's getting kind of annoying. Having to fight in like just like the biggest AoEs ever. There's like 6 of them. Sharpshooter now reduces your fire rate and move speed by really. They really want that. Wow. Okay. That is definitely wow. 10% increase in weapon damage, as well as far range weapon damage. A 20% buff. 10% fire. Wow. Yeah, that's definitely a. They don't want anybody who's not really sitting back to buy that item at all. They really don't. Uh, they really don't. Which makes sense. And it also means that I'm never buying that item on Infernus again, and I might as well honestly probably take it out of the build. The only time I ever buy it is if no one else can deal with Vindicta, but I haven't had that issue in probably a month and a half. Titanic Magazine melee resistance increased by 5%. Alchemical Fire added alternate desaturated variant for friendly versions of this. I'm guessing they mean the effect on the ground. Frenzy now builds from Berserker. Increase, grants Berserker passive. Bonus per stack goes to 8%. 12 ammo, 150 bonus health, 10 bullet resist. Stat bonuses when below 50% stay the same. Crippling headshot. The headshot debuff will now stack from different sources diminishingly. So if 2 of you have it and you both hit headshots, then the first one is 24. The second one is an additional 12. The third one is an additional 6. The fourth one is an additional 3. The fifth one is an additional 1.5, 0.75, so on and so forth. Shadow Weave spot radius increased by 4 meters. That means it's easier to see them. I believe. Lucky Shot proc reduced from 35 to 34. I mean, that's still greater than 1 out of every 3 shots. So I'm not. As long as it stays above 33%, it's a really good item. Once it hits 33%, now it's a little different because now it's just every 3rd shot. And now the math changes over a large magazine. The math changes significantly at that point, versus instead of every 3rd shot, it being like every 35 out of it's definitely the math changes there. Silencer build up difficulty increased by 18%. Really? Okay, I mean I'm not going to complain too much. Cooldown reduction reduced from 15 to 12 on Spiritual Overflow. Okay. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. This is such a good item. 3% cooldown reduction, which is also not why you buy it, isn't going to make a big difference there. Vitality items. Extra stamina. Fire rate reduced by 1%. Healing rate. Health bonus reduced by 15. That's fine. I was kind of surprised that it gave 45 in the first place. You don't buy it for that. You buy it for the healing. The additional stats on top of it are really, just to make you feel better if your healing gets canceled. But now that means there's more value in canceling the heal. Because more of that 500 souls goes into stats that you can't use when the active's on cooldown. Healing Nova. Time to heal increased by 0.75 seconds. That's not going to make a huge difference. Enchanter's Barrier cooldown reduced. Cooldown reduction reduced by 2%. Return Fire no longer has +9 spirit power. It now gives you HP regen and 10% ammo. Sword of Locket cooldown reduced by 5 seconds. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't think this really changes this very much. You buy this for the active. I don't think it changes all that much. Veil Walker, when shot while invisible, you will require 1 full second to go back invisible rather than 0.25 seconds. I like that, in part because it Veil Walker is very, very cheap for invisibility. And so making that a little bit different, yeah, because it doesn't look like, uh, yeah, because did they change it? Shadowy, no, that's all they, okay, yeah, so it's not going to be as strong as either a Haze, who has it built into her kit, or, the full Shadowy 6200 item. I like that. Cooldown has been increased by 4 seconds as well. I like that. Majestic Leap no longer gets interrupted on slam down if you get shot. So you can't use it if you get shot when you're in the air. But now if you're mid slam down, or you've queued up the slam down task that actually tried to, you've already pressed the button and you're starting, then it will not be interrupted. Metal skin buffed by 0.5 seconds. Stamina movement distance reduced by 25%. I like that. I like that a lot. Having somebody who takes 0 bullet damage being able to do crazy psychotic movement shit just seemed really weird. I like this better. Hey, look, I'm just gonna stand here. You can't do. I can't go anywhere, but for 4 seconds you can't do damage to me. I like that. Rescue beam range reduced by 4 meters. Okay, I like that. I think that's a good kind of balanced area for it. A lot of abilities, hooks, stuff like that will outrange it, but not by anything crazy. Debuff remover buff duration increased from 4 to 5. Heal on active increased from 10% to 300 HP. I don't know how I feel about that. That makes it significantly stronger early and significantly weaker late. And it makes it worse on tanks, which I do like, actually. I do like that that's worse on tanks. I do like that for... No, you know what? No, I do like this. I do like this a lot. I like this a lot now that I think about it, because 10% max HP is only going to be more than 300 HP if you're a tank. I like that a lot, actually. Unstoppable now has 20% slow resistance. Okay, I like that. Leech no longer provides cooldown reduction. Now upgrades from Healbane. Provides plus 60% anti-healing for 8 seconds on spirit damage dealt. Oh boy, we're gonna have to be messing with the build this fucking patch, boys, because now how do I not get Leech every fucking game? But Toxic Bullets is already so good. Dude, there's too many items that are so good on Inferno. Like, what am I gonna do? Whatever. Okay. Spirit items. Spirit items. These are good problems to have. I don't know why I'm so mad at myself. These are good problems to have. Spirit items. Infuser. Duration increased from 6 to 8. I like that. That's really good. Like, that's huge. I really like that. That means you get so much more out of it. No longer grants plus 50 health. Gives you 70 spirit shields. I like that. I mean, I don't honestly know why they did that. I don't see the reason. Withering Whip. Duration increased by 0.5 seconds. Bullet resist reduced from -11 to -12. So that's a buff. Okay. Withering Whip got a nice buff. Slowing Hex cooldown increased by 2 seconds. Okay, that doesn't make a huge difference. Every 30 seconds, you're still going to be up all the time. I guess they just don't want it more than once a fight on average. Suppressor duration increased by 0.5, but the build-up... oh, no, that's different item. Duration increased by 0.5 seconds. Decay, bleed damage increased by 0.1%. Rapid recharge. Cooldown for charged abilities reduced from 30 to 25. Okay. Ethereal shift allows you to float around slowly. That's fucking amazing. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. I love this shit. That's gonna make for some funny clips and stuff like that. Silence Glyph now pierces through all enemies in the path. Ooh. So you can silence like 3 or 4 fucking people. Projectile and collision size increased by 40. Wow. This is going to be a crazy fucking item now. Arcane Surge. Ability range reduced by 2%. Duration reduced by 2%. And Spirit Power reduced from plus 20 to plus 18. Okay. Mystic Slow. Duration increased to match. Stun duration reduced from 0.9 to 0.75. Stun now lasts 1 second longer against airborne targets based on how high off the ground they are, up to 30 meters. They need to have more flying characters then, because right now there's only a couple. Refresher cast delay increased from 0.3 to 0.6. Diviner's Kevlar cooldown reduction reduced by 2%. Ability duration increased by 3%. Mystic Reverb increased damage by 5%. And the duration of Magic Carpet has been increased by 1 second. Yay, more magic. Alrighty. Let's get into the heroes. I heard there were Infernus buffs. Abrams, bullet damage decreased. Spirit Siphon, spirit scaling increased. Bad. Me no likey. Bebop. Uppercut now only locks enemies out of air control for a max of a half second. That makes sense. Down from 1 second. Bebop. Hook now shows a hero icon when you connect with a target. Okay, cool. Hook delay reduced when pulling allies. Okay. Tier 1 now also improves melee damage. Interesting. Okay. Dynamo. Fixed quantum entanglement not deselecting if you get silenced while targeting. It's supposed to cancel it? Does that mean only you take it and no one else can take it? I'm not 100% sure what that means. Dynamo, kinetic pulse tier 2 now affects melee damage. I don't even know. Oh, is there damage reduction? I don't even know. Fixed melee carpet plus dynamo heal interaction. I guess that means that you can cast it and then fly around. It's a whole new world. Chad, it's a whole new world. Singularity cooldown increased by 24 seconds. If my math, yeah, 24 seconds. I like that. I like that. Dynamo's already so broken. I mean, it just means that we're going to have a slightly larger window to make plays. Now deals half damage to objectives. That's not why you cast Singularity, so I don't think it matters. If you're casting Singularity next to an objective, I think you're doing it wrong. Singularity fixed tooltip referencing knock. Okay, I don't care. Great Talent, immobilizing trapped, now renamed to Spirit Snare. Now applies a curse debuff for 1.75 seconds to all enemies in the radius when it triggers instead of a tether. So it doesn't slow them. Oh, no, it's Curse. Curse is the 62. Whoo! That's a buff. What? What? You can now shoot charge shot onto the Spirit Snare center to trigger it to detonate immediately in a 30% increased radius. Okay. Haze. Smoke bomb sprint reduced by 1. Tier 3 charge time reduced by 3 seconds. Okay. Fixed fixation not working correctly with debuff resist. Okay. That's probably a nerf to Haze. Fixation tier 3 reduced by 0.3. Sleep state no longer disables the target. Instead allows them to move at 2 meters per second, but are unable to take any other action. Okay, so I can't completely... So you basically turn me into like a zombie. I just... like, I'm drowsy as fuck now. That makes sense. Fix creeps somehow attacking and waking on sleeping targets. Okay, that's something that I thought was a skill issue, and I was able to tend to kind of deal with. But bullet dance cooldown increased by a little bit. I like that. 12 seconds. Tier 1 reduced by 1 spirit damage. Tier 2 increase. Okay, so its base cooldown went up, but you can get it back down to... you can get it back down a little bit. It's still higher, though. Bullet dance fixed an issue, causing the game to freeze for the duration of the alt channel. Interesting. Can we fix the issue where if you get fucking CC'd in Bullet Dance, you have to play the next fucking 2 minutes or until you die in a really weird camera angle? Infernus, my boy. Flame Dash cooldown reduced by 5 seconds. Love to see it. Tier 3 cooldown change. That's fine. That's fine. I like this a lot. This is really going to help farming. It's going to help a lot of different things. I really do. 5 seconds can be a huge difference. 5 seconds, those 5 seconds, like, sometimes it can take me 30 seconds to clear a camp, clear a wave, and then go to the next camp. And if I have to wait 10 more seconds to use my dash on the camp, now I have to think about, do I want to just hold the dash and not use it on the first camp, but use it for the second camp and have it for it's this way you can just use it. Infernus Flame Dash Tier 3 now also makes the ability charged. Okay, that answers that question. That's getting maxed third now. Fuck the ult. And the Afterburn Spirit scaling got increased. Let's go! Very happy with these Infernus changes. I'm very happy with these Infernus changes. And I do like that they make little changes to him every fucking patch. I really do. They haven't done a major change. I think this is probably the biggest change for a while, but I really like this. I really like this a lot. Does it give you an extra charge, or do I need to build extra charge? Because building extra charge is going to be a pain in the ass. But we'll mess with that. Okay, Ivy. Melee damage growth reduced by 15%. Good. Yay! They're fucking nerfing Ivy! Yay! Dude, I like this patch so far. We got a Haze nerf. We got an Infernus buff. Great Talent buff. Dynamo nerf. Oh my, I'm so happy with this patch so far. Starting health reduced. Like that. Watcher's Covenant fixed. Triplicate healing even when you're full. Okay. Now initially locks on a target if you're facing the direction if there is one. Okay. Little quality of life change there. Stone Form now shows the Ivy player a visible radius indicator. Okay. Kudzu Bomb now grows on the ground if it hits Geo instead of floating in the air. Okay. Curious to what that really means. Airdrop damage reduced by 25. Fixed Phantom Strike not grounding Ivy when using airdrop. Airdrop now lets you choose to significantly reduce your initial upward momentum by holding the fly key down while casting the ability. This meant by holding the fly down key. By holding the fly down key, not by holding the fly key down. Well, it's actually supposed to probably say by holding the fly down key down. Say that 12 times fast. Kelvin, fix some issues not being able to shoot over half-height cover. Short King. Frost Grenade now also reduces stamina regen during the slow duration. That makes sense. Frozen Shelter now created on key up, while the key down, the outline area will be shown. I like that. Ivy Quillet, yes, those Infernus ones are looking pretty good too. I'm very happy with the Infernus changes so far. Ivy quality of life changes, but Ivy nerfs. Importantly, Ivy nerfs. Fucking ass Ivy nerfs. Fuck that fucking ass thing. Just kidding, Ivy. We love you, but Jesus, you're annoying to play against. Lady Geist, Malice can now secure orbs. I do like this idea of certain abilities being able to secure orbs. Soul Exchange Tier 2 changed from minus 10 minimum health to on cast plus 40% fire rate for 8 seconds. I'm not really sure if that's a nerf or a buff, because high fire rate on someone with 8 bullets isn't really a huge... Like, you're going to spend over half that time reloading. Soul Exchange Tier 3 changed from the fire rate and spirit resist bonuses for 8 seconds to silences enemies in 15-meter radius for 3 seconds. Huh? When she ults, she silence. That solves the 1-for-1 problem. God fucking damn it. Lady Geist is good now. Lady Geist is good now. You can try... You can... multiple life. Lady Geist is good now. God damn it. God damn it. Lady Geist is good now. She was already annoying to play, especially if your teammates were idiots. But Jesus, this is going to be fucking... God. Lady Geist is good now. This makes me mad. Lash, Ground Strike Tier 1. Cooldown's been buffed by half a second. Death Slam cooldown increased by 3 seconds. That literally doesn't matter. Channel time increased. That's good. That's helpful. I like that. That gives you a little bit of extra time to get out. Impact radius increased from 5 to 6 meters. That kind of means they're going to kind of get lifted out a little bit wider, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Makes target... it makes hitting the preferred target within the slam easier for other players on your team. Cast range increased and the cone has been increased. That's fine. That's fine. I like that. I mean, Lash isn't a character that like you need to buy a couple of items. You need to buy extra charge. Like you have to, because one of your abilities is a charged ability that doesn't give you an extra charge. And you have to buy range increase because 18 meters is nothing. So I'm fine with that. And that also means that because it's percentage based, that'll also help it even more later on, which is fine. But again, they give you a little bit longer to get out. Death Slam Tier 2 reduced cooldown by 30 seconds. Okay. Impact area stuns for 1 second. I like that a lot. I like that. So now you can use that to just hard engage. You can throw it on, like throw them into their backline as to disengage. You can throw them into their backline and jump into them to like deathball them and engage. There's a lot of different things you can do. McGinnis, mini turrets HP gain per boon buffed by 10. Mini turrets no longer limit the damage they take. Good. Good. I should be able to delete you. Fucking... Mini turrets now have a minimum lifetime of 4 seconds. If they are killed during this time, they will be marked for death regardless of what happens during that time. There will be a visual indication that they are malfunctioning / dying. So does that mean that if she drops it and I kill it instantly, it still works for a few seconds and then dies? Mini turrets fire rate reduced by 20%. That's good. I like that. Mirage Fire Scarab now applies a strain over 4 seconds instead of front-loaded. Fire Scarabs no longer restrict you from hitting the same target. The debuff duration refreshes. That's going to be a big buff. That's a big buff for him. Fire Scarab's launch window increased. Fire Scarab's launch window increased to 8 seconds and can be extended by duration extender. That's good. Traveler now allows you to rotate the camera. That's good. For those who don't know, guys, your F keys, F1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you can see your teammates' cameras. I'll show you in game. You can see your teammates' cameras. You can switch to them and spin them around and look. People need to start using it. Tier 2 changed from minus a minute cooldown to grants ally traveler benefits. If cast on an enemy, it'll give the bonus to nearest closest ally hero within 30 meters. Okay. So now this is a nerf. This is actually this is a huge nerf. This is a fucking huge nerf. A full minute. A full minute. That's a big nerf. Like, this is nice. It now, like, excuse me. I like this is, it's nice. You know what I mean? You know, you ult it on a tank. Ult it on your tank. Something like, you know, this is nice. Helps out a team. And helps, you know, encourage players to use it to split push and then TP to team fights. But a full minute cooldown is fucking insane, dude. That's a lot for a global ultimate. A minute's a lot. Moan Krill, burrows no longer affected by shoulder charge. Well, hold on. Actually, a minute's a lot, especially because unlike a lot of other abilities, a global ability gives you global map pressure. And so when it's up, you have infinitely more map pressure than when it's down. And so the swing between when Mirage's ultimate is up, which everybody can see, quick reminder, and the amount of pressure he has on the map compared to when it's not up, when it's down, he's like half a character. That's like a lot. Versus compare that to like a Moe and Krill, who like, you know, his ult has pressure, but only if he's within the range of you. His ult, whether his ult's on cooldown or off cooldown, is irrelevant if he's on the other side of the map, right? Compared to Mirage, where it's always relevant. So the nerf is felt significantly harder, especially because his character is designed to fall off later in the game because it has that global presence. Moe and Krill Burrow will no longer be affected by shoulder charge. Fuck off. Spectral Wall no longer hits you when you're burrowed. Fuck off. Scorn now heals you instantly instead of over 2 seconds. Combo gain. Why are we buffing Moe and Krill? Valve, I need you to listen to me, Valve. Stop it. I'm gonna say the same thing I say about dogs. Stop it. Stop it. I'm sick of shooting at flying dinner plates. Motherfucker. Paradox time while stop duration reduced to half a second. I like that mostly because it's a more round number, so it's easier to calculate in your head. It used to be a full second. Paradox kinetic carbine tier 1. Let me do this. Max carbine stop duration reduced and tier 1 reduced. Okay, so she just got a bit of a nerf. Nothing too crazy though. Nothing that really makes a good Paradox any worse. It just makes bad Paradoxes worse. Pocket health growth reduced. That's fine. If you're a good pocket, you shouldn't really be taking a ton of sustained damage anyways. Enchanter Satchel tier 1 increase. That's a nice little buff. Escape duration reduced. So I'm guessing that means that, like, if they haven't TP'd out by 1.5 seconds, they can't TP out. Enchanter's Satchel tier 3 now increases escape duration back up to the 2 seconds. Okay. Flying Cloak duration increased. Slower speed, same overall distance. Okay, so that's, I think, kind of a little bit better for everybody because you can be more specific about where you want to be as Pocket, as well as it's a little bit easier to catch up to him. Affliction now immediately deals 18% of current HP on application. Why are we buffing the most broken spell in the... Valve. Stop it. It's already a press a button, take your tower for free spell. Stop it. DPS reduced. That's good. Spirit power scaling reduced. That's good. Affliction radius reduced significantly. Okay. All right, Valve. Maybe I judged you too soon, too early, too soon. Whatever the fuck. Spoke too soon. Can't talk. Affliction reduced. Okay. Now increases range and initial damage by 5%. I don't know. One of Pocket's strongest thing is his laning, right? His team fighting's really good, but his laning is the strongest because he's a lane bully, and at just about any point in time, he can TP into your face, hit you with Affliction, and during lane phase, you can't out-heal that. So you have to leave. Or you have to let him kill you. If you let him kill you, he might take so long killing you that he doesn't get your tower, but that's a 50-50 fucking coin flip. If you leave, he takes your tower. So he basically, if you're a decent Pocket, you pretty much get to win every lane for free. Like, you just get to win the lane. There's really not a whole lot of counterplay to it. If you understand how to play Pocket and you're able to catch your opponent, in a TP, like, it's really hard for you to lose lane. I mean, you even have deny prio because you have a shotgun. So, like, it's really difficult for you to lose lane. And they just made it so that it's a little bit more front-loaded and 1v1 focused. So that's gonna make it so it doesn't scale quite as well into the late game. Until Affliction gets maxed, which I don't play Pocket, so I don't know what you max. But I don't know. I think this is just, I don't know. I just hope I don't have to deal with too many pockets in lane. At least not a solo lane. 7. Stormcloud now grants you a secondary ability, Lightning Strike. This is a one-time use AoE ability. You can target anywhere in your ultimate range. After a 2-second delay, it releases a vertical lightning strike onto a 6-meter area, knocking enemies away from that radius and dealing 150, 1.5. Okay, that's actually a lot of damage because that's 1.5 spirit scaling, and 7 already builds a lot of spirit. There's a visual indicator for enemies at the... Okay. All right, we need to test 7's alt changes. Okay, Shiv, fix some targeting issues with Killing Blow. Okay, Vindicta, health reduced by 25. That's fine. Crow Familiar projectile speed increased. We like that. That makes that a lot easier to hit, especially because we are usually very far away. Stake cooldown reduced by 2 seconds. That's good. Doesn't make a huge difference, but it's good. Stake increased. Ooh. So now tier 2 stake is only on literally a 20-second cooldown. That's crazy. The tier 2 stake duration reduced. That's fine. Now also increases capture radius by +2. Okay, that's good. Assassinate time between charges increased. Base damage reduced by 10. That's not going to make a huge difference. Tier 2 damage reduced by... Okay, so at maxed, they nerfed the damage by 20. The only issue with this is now you're even more likely to lose the extra kill gold to improve burst, which they still need to fix. Like, they need to fix that. Viscous. Fixed visual parry cooldown bug with Puddle Punch. The cube cooldown has been reduced by 6 seconds. Cast range reduced. I like this. Cast it more often, but you got to be closer. I like that. I think that's a good change. Puddle Punch radius increased by 0.5 meter. That's fine. Slow reduced. Okay. It's already hard enough to dodge. Giving him an extra range, taking 0.5 meter is not going to make a huge difference there. So just lowering the effects that you're more likely to get hit by is fine with me. I'm okay with that. Yeah, and if once it's reduced by 10% across the board once he ends up maxing it. Puddle Punch tier 3 also now causes the punch to become a heavy melee. That's really going to do a lot of changes in Viscous. That's interesting. That's interesting. Goo Ball damage, spirit scaling reduced. I like that. Tier 2 damage reduced. Okay, I like that. Warden. Let's go, Warden nerfs. Warden nerfs. Warden nerfs. Warden, fire rate, spirit, power scaling reduced from 0.25 to 0.22. Last stand. To make sure I'm snoozing. Sorry, chat. Warden, last stand resistance reduced from 60% to 30%. Last stand now only goes on cooldown for 20 seconds when interrupted rather than full. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That's fine. I've always been a fan of reduced cooldowns when you interrupt a spell across the board. Always. I'm sure there are exceptions, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. And no, okay, so tier 2 now reduces the cooldown by 35 seconds, and then they got rid of this. Okay, so what that means is mid-game, he's going to get it a little bit more often. But late game, he's going to be tankier, and it's going to last longer, but he's still going to get it 30 seconds less often than he currently does. I think this resistance right here, with all of his resistances dropping by 30%, or rather by 50%, I mean, either, depending on the way you look at it, by half, is a lot. Like, that's crazy. I think that's a big nerf, and good, because I'm sick of Warden. Wraith, bullet damage growth increased from 0.37 to 0.39. Okay, I like that. Full auto tier 2 spirit damage per bullet now has a default 0.5 spirit power scaling. I don't know what it used to be. Tier 3 reduces improved spirit power scaling from 0.1 to 0.5. Okay, because there wasn't one before. You had to max it to get that spirit power scaling. Now, between the two of them, you get the 0.1 at the same. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Full auto changed from 30% bullet steel to 20% bullet and spirit lifesteal. I love those changes. Ooh, we're probably playing some Wraith, boys. We're gonna be playing some Wraith, boys. This is a good patch. I like this patch. I like this patch a lot so far. Telekinesis cast time reduced by 0.3 seconds. Projectile speed increased by 100. I like that. Now briefly lifts the enemy and then slams him to the ground and leaves the target with 2.5 seconds of silence and disarm. So much better. So much better. I hope it does the damage on the ground slam instead of it being like a weird delay. I like that. That's a I'm gonna mess with instead of a like you're gonna stand. I like that a lot. Telekinesis tier 2 duration now applies the silence and the disarm increased to. Okay, I understand. Now causes the projectile to bounce to a nearby enemy within 20 meters. Okay, so you can't lift up the whole team anymore, but it's a more powerful spell in the... Okay, I like that a lot. I really do. I like that a lot. These overall changes make Wraith better in multiple ways, so I definitely think I'm going to start playing her again. Yamato, Flying Strike Tier 3 now also allows you to grapple ally heroes. I like that's kind of cool. Shadow Transformation, cast time reduced from 2 seconds to 1.5. Shadow Transformation no longer has a 0.6 second post-cast time. I don't know what the fuck that means. And now also increases resistances by 15%. Not bad. Not bad. So we just want to make sure... Alright, let's take a look at the new character, Raven. By impeding his enemy movement and punishing those who look in his direction, Raven creates opportunities to stab his enemies in the back. Okay, throw a concussion grenade that reduces enemies' turn rate. Interesting. That's really interesting. That's kind of cool. That's another, like, unique type of CC. I like that. And he looks really polished, too. Umbrella, use your umbrella to catch a gust of wind that lifts you backwards. You can then charge up your umbrella. This guy's gonna be awesome. Temporarily boost your fire rate. Yo! Activating your relic. Enemy hero slow movement and dashes. Reduce damage over time when lurking towards you. If you look long enough to get cursed. Dude, this is... Oh! Alright, we gotta do his background, though. Led by the specter of Catherine the Great, the Soviet Empire has flourished in a brave new world of mysticism. But when her deeper motivations are often obfuscated from the world stage, one thing is for certain, she hates being a ghost. To this end, she has tasked the Empire's spy master with one goal: find a way to make her corporeal once more. Relentless in pursuit of his task, the operative known only as the Raven has scoured the earth looking for strange artifacts, apocryphal writings, and wisdom of the life beyond. Now in New York, Raven looks to find a way to tether Catherine's spirit to the mortal coil. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what he does. So it's a single shotgun. So it's basically a revolver. Right, it shoots more or less like a his ammo animations are so bad. He's just fucking. Chat, watch this. Early development build, my friends. Early development build. Oh my god. Oh, all right, what do you do? Okay, so I fly in the air, and then I need to do... Okay, it just shoots on its own. Got it. interesting. Increased fire rate. And that's a buff. Oh, the AoE. Alright, I like this guy. It'll be fun to play with. It's his thing, AoE though. Yeah, it looks like it. That's the fucking sound now? Okay. I don't know how I feel about all the extra sounds on that. Oh, I can't wait for his actual animations to get put in the game. This guy's gonna be fucking so cool to watch. He looks like he'd probably be a good, like, solo laner type, like actually, probably a tanky-ish, like, bruiser, like, I think, like, Warden almost. He just, his fucking soul's just sitting on his ass, that's my, or on his, like, the center of his back. That's funny. Change hero. Okay, who else do we need to test? Great Talon.
This will be a hunt to remember. Trap is set. Taking aim. I have eyes on them. I'll fire from above. I see you.
Is it working?
Setting snare. I see you. On the move.
Oh yeah, kinda.
They won't know what hit them. Contact. Let's see what you catch, my friend.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I like that actually. What was the other change? Alright, so we gotta play it. We have to play a game or two as Great Talon at some point.
The hunter strikes. Sending arrow.
I like that a lot too. Okay, next change. Infernus build. Okay, so we're gonna test
I see
7's
we're
ult.
looking for something of a more mystical persuasion.
Comes with a price. Death to our enemies! Run, cowards!
Allow me to pique your curiosity. Don't mind the blood on that. It's kind of used.
Oh wow, okay.
The storm gathers.
Oh, that's a pretty solid knockback. Yo, he just got really good at stealing. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Let's check out Wraith's ult.
You think I handle money? Please. I don't think so. Hold it! You should run.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Now go out there and
Try to keep up. Burning a path.
And away we go.
No, I think that actually gets maxed second now. I think that gets maxed second.
Death brings consequences once more.
Shit, yeah, that's a lot of charge.
Light 'em up. Got something for you. On the move.
Do I need 4 fucking charge? 3 seconds between? subscribe, and have a good day.